Hello there, everyone. I'm so excited to be back here. Every week for the past 5 weeks has been so amazing to be here on Horde of Tales, running this Aether RPG series called Seekers of the Heart, where we are now at session 6 of 8. We are at the 3/4 point here. This is going to be so much fun today because I get to run a pirate ship combat for people, and I've been looking forward to this since last session ended. But so before we get into that, I have to introduce my cast real quick, or rather, I have to let them introduce themselves of name, pronouns, and character and pronouns. But before we do that, I do want to note at the top of the session that we came on about a minute later as a moment of silence. I believe it was in the Netherlands and such that typically happens. And also, I wanted to note, in addition to that, our hearts and such go out to all of the trans community members, both in and out of the TTRPG space, especially in the US, who are dealing with any number of queerphobic and transphobic rhetoric and legislation. Yeah, as a trans woman, it's especially trans woman of color, it's very scary being here in a lot of ways living in the US. But hey, we live, we carry on, we forge ahead, and most importantly, we keep creating stories and art. And it has been my pleasure for the past 5 weeks and now going into week 6 of sharing this very queer, focused, trans affirming and amazing just tale with all of these wonderful people. And so I'm going to let them introduce themselves real quick. So again, my name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, her pronouns. I'm going to start off, as always, with Hector.
Hello, I am Hector Manuel Reyes. My pronouns are he, they, and I play Esper, the first guardian of the Sun Gardens. Pronouns he, him.
That was said so wonderfully. We've got to keep this going with a little bit of chaos. Passing it over to our own Jenna.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jenna, and I play Moore, and we both go by she, her.
Softest of wonderful rock elementals, our own fantastic Nikki.
Hello there, I'm Nick, he, they, and I will be playing Sonorum, they, them, our sentient rock person.
Fantastic. And the incomparable, the ever elegant and wonderful Kestrel.
Hello, I'm Kestrel, and I play Mother Mercy. I use she, they pronouns. She uses she, her pronouns.
And of course, the hottest of hot dragon boys that has ever existed, Caro.
Hi, I'm Caro, pronounced she, they, and I'm going to play Jubil, pronounced he, they.
Alrighty, everybody. This is, oh boy, this is going to be a hell of a time because I'm going to do the recap right after I do quick content warning. I've checked in with my players ahead of time, and we have safety tools in place for this series. Has had a lot of ongoing content that is included, but not limited to, aspects of insectoid aesthetics and descriptions, a lot of subterranean creatures and aesthetics, a lot of elements of very toxic and fucked up relationships, kind of even bordering into the, not bordering implicitly, then explicitly into the abusive, and very much with the villains and such that we've created with people's backstories. I have checked in with folks like Jenna, with folks like Carl regarding his character's potential situation as might happen throughout this campaign, and other folks. Again, if these are the kinds of themes that you are not necessarily sure if you can handle, by all means, please step away. We hold no ill will. No show is ever worth your mental health and well-being. And again, as a quick reminder, stuff like insects, toxic relationships, here we're going to be dealing with a lot of aspects of heights and especially the cold. So if you have any sort of experiences that have involved like natural disasters and such, please be mindful of that. But with that out of the way, we're going to jump back into our recap as our group, having managed to deal with the threat that was facing our fantastic magical theater, the Chronic Theater that our own Mother Mercy belonged to, and she herself becoming a new steward of possibility for having been for having protected the theater. It has given her thanks in return, and she may now draw upon the power of dreams. And in between last session and this one, I buffed Mother Mercy's ability because I'm just going to give my players cool shit because we're in the last few sessions, and I promise that'll be for every player to some degree. But having decided to then make their way, having heard news of Glitter Gorge, a fantastic place in which alchemists and various other earth elementals of a variety that Sonorum is familiar with, is facing a potential threat from Alaric, the ex of our own Moor. The party decided to use essentially a portal to get over there, and immediately landed in a very unpleasant situation, as it seems as though the whole of Glitter Gorge has been frozen over, the heat being leached away from it, and the source, due to an astral investigative approach taken by Esper, being a flying pirate ship that has now become reinforced in cursed crystalline memoria. And as a result of that astral investigation, Esper having alerted Alaric to their presence, and immediately the group decided, okay, covert ops time. Go face a challenge right at the end of last session to decide if they can make their way through the ship without being spotted, or at the very least, getting into a better position. The group, with many good draws, succeeded and even have removed a combatant from the conflict that they'll be going through today, of Brenna, the lava eater, a dear lava elemental friend of our own Juvie, who is being forcibly used to be the power source of an engine for the pirate ship, fueling the enchantment leeching heat away. Though in the moment that they were removed from the engine, Alaric became aware of their presence, and immediately, in his increasingly draconic form, clawed his way through the ceiling and landed pretty much right close to them. And now we're gonna jump back into this scene with a draconic roar just echoes out across the entire ship and begins rending apart pieces of the top part of the ship to create what is going to be at 6 zones of combat, everybody. So let's break this up and let you know where things are at right now. So zone 1, the engine room where Alaric currently is. His roar has pushed you back. This is my way of narratively justifying you mechanically spreading yourselves out as you want amongst the rest of these zones. Zone 2 is the hallway you snuck into before you got into the engine room itself. Zone 3, stairs leading to the deck where potential other combatants are waiting. Zone 4, top of the ship, and the crow's nest specifically. So any sort of snipers or aerial-based enemies may be hiding up in the crow's nest. Zone 4. Zone 5, the very back of the ship. And Zone 6, which I hope no one has to end up using today, literally off the ship. Like falling off. Like if you don't do something immediately, this is going to become bad for you in so many different ways. But Alaric is pissed. You've taken the engine core. I need everyone to draw for initiative. Tell me what you draw, and I'm going to slot you into your spots unless you want to change the order based off of what you've drawn. But yeah, draw for it. This is just 1 card draw, and then decide what you want it to be. I will tell you what. Is that an ace? Wait.
Oh.
That is an ace. That is an 8 of hearts, I think I'm seeing. So Caro, confirm for me, is that an ace?
Yes, that's just
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
good start.
A sign of good things to come.
Okay, so we have an 8.
Uh,
8 that has happened from Esper.
I drew a 3.
Continuing a good start.
Yeah.
I drew a
More.
7. Oh, sorry.
So Mother Mercy has a 7.
I'm coming in strong with the queen.
Oh, okay. That is actually kind of big. That's gonna be very important for you because y'all, you know how the theater had a whole bunch of stuff planned around it with arena effects? Yeah, we're kicking in arena effects immediately. 1, I need someone to draw a card for me to determine which arena effect is gonna kick in first. Somebody draw a card.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yes, Nikki.
What did you draw?
Did you draw an ace? Oh no.
Ace.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, I have to point out, my barrier activates at the top of the combat, and it's level 3. I just want to just slide that in there.
All good, all
It's
good, all
always
good.
good to bring protection.
My mage armor, like this.
Given the conversation we had before we went live, yes, this is very relevant to our conversations.
In so many ways.
Okay, here is what is going to happen first, because I think this one is fun. So actually, before I get into that, I want folks to slot themselves. Where are your characters amongst the zones? How far back do you feel like the roar? Because it's just like a yell of fury, and then you got pushed back, but you can determine how far that was. So you have zone 1, engine room, 2, hallway, 3, stairs, and 4, crow's nest. I think that's a pretty good spread for between zones 1 through 4, where you think all your characters are. Please tell me right now. And then I'll tell you what happens to more, because Alaric also drew a queen.
Oh no.
So Alaric is first.
Oh no.
Esper's in the engine room.
Okay, Esper, you're right up with Alaric. Okay.
Yeah.
Which
Same.
zone did Alaric blew himself in?
He's in the engine room. He literally
he's also
clawed
there.
through the ceiling and is now in the engine room with everybody. And he yelled and knocked you back, which is me mechanically giving you away. If you want to be pushed back a bit, you can. If you want to stay up with them, because some of you want to be in melee, some of you really don't want to be in melee.
No.
Yeah, I'll be in the engine room as well.
Okay, so that's Sonorum in the engine room. Okay, Juvie, Mercy, more.
I'm
Which
gonna
zone are you
be
in?
whatever. Yeah, engine room.
Okay, that's a lot of people in zone 1.
We're all holding hands because it's scary.
I'll take
Okay.
the stairs.
Okay, so you're in zone 3, so Mercy.
I'm taking the hallway.
Mhm.
Okay, so Juvie. All right. Now, as a heads up, there are 3 other combatants who are not yet aware of this happening. They're aware something is happening, but they're not aware it's a full conflict. So there is a cloaked individual that is in zone 5, and a duelist and a pirate with a rifle in zone 4. The pirate is up in the crow's nest. The duelist is like ground level. They will not get a turn to engage until at least 1 round passes. So this is the additional benefit that I'm giving you all for just being like managing the success, is that some enemies are not even going to engage yet. But based off of Nick's draw, I'm so excited for this first one. So especially since a bunch of you decided to stay together. The ship barks a hard left and begins almost doing a like teetering over and risking like doing a full barrel roll. So for anyone, everyone 1 gets pushed back 1 zone.
Okay.
So that means Mother Mercy, you're now in zone 4. Juvie, you're in zone 3. And everyone else has just moved over to zone 2. But for everyone who was in the same zone, you will take damage. You will take 1 stress for every other person that is in the zone with you. So that is going to mean Esper, Sonorum, and more. All of you are now prone, and you take 2 stress.
Oof. Okay.
That is the first effect.
Stress can come off of our armor, right?
Yes, stress
that goes
hits
first, okay.
armor and wards first.
Okay.
Okay, so how much total stress is it again?
2. It's 2 because there are
It's
2 other people who are with you.
2.
Basically,
Okay.
you're getting pushed back by the sudden movement of the ship, and because
Okay.
a bunch of you stuck together, Sonorum and more are battering Esper right now. You're all just crashing into one another.
Okay. So
Do
my
I-
barrier. So how does my barrier work? Does it just absorb the stress? Is it
Yes,
1 and done, or is
it's
it a constant?
extra. It's 1 and done.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
1 and done. Got it. Cool. So it's eaten
Yes,
through 2
so-
levels on my barrier.
Mhm.
Yes, so that is that. The first thing that Alaric is going to do is he's just going to take 1 action, move over to more. He's going to say, I thought I told you you belong to me. Or maybe you'd prefer I call you by the right name, Lysandra. Let's make you look a lot more how you should. And Dragon Claw reaches forward to use an ability called Soul Pierce, where he's going to
Oh.
try and reach the claw to break the crystal in your chest.
All right.
That is a king and his
Oh
drop.
shit.
So here's the complication.
Oh.
I am going to let you decide. Do you want a Doom counter, or do you want some of your abilities entirely locked out until next round?
Doom counter, please.
Okay. You have a status effect called Doom 3. If 3 full turns go by, you drop immediately. You lose 3 abilities
Okay.
full of stress immediately. You need to get rid of this because you all watch as the claw reaches out. And what was the type of crystal? Was it a sapphire again? I'm trying to remember.
It was a black pearl.
It was a black pearl. You just watch as, and he just cracks like the center of it. And you watch as Moore is starting to shift back into something that she has not presented in front of you before. So that's 1 action to move, 1 action to use Soul Pierce, and then 1 action to move back. So that is his 3 actions. He is in zone 1. That is his turn. Moore, you're up. 1 turn goes by. You feel like your whole body has been, you are having a hard time literally keeping your soul, or rather, Lysandra is having a hard time keeping her soul to her body right now.
Mm-hmm. It's awkward.
If you want to get rid of the status effect, you're going to need to burn 2 potential to get rid of it.
Okay. Is that one of my moves then?
That is not one of your moves.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, in our chat, yeah, it is Kilgrave. Basically, Alaric is based off of how I play him. It's Kilgrave. He's very much Kilgrave.
Oh no!
Moore gave me a Kilgrave blueprint,
Yeah.
basically.
I knew that I was Jessica Jones.
And we got another 5 potential at the top.
Yes,
of the
everyone
game,
always gets 5
right?
potential at the start. So this is why I'm going to be inflicting, as a heads up, a lot of status effects, because I know some of you have saved them, and also you got 5. So this is a matter of you're going to need to manage this very well. But Moore, it is your turn.
Okay, so this is really stupid. Sometimes I make bad decisions and it's fine. I'm not going to immediately get rid of that effect, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take my movement towards him. Moore's going to also unsheath some claws. And I am going to use those claws to draw a pentagram, like to rake a pentagram onto his chest.
Oh,
And I'd like to hex him.
sweet.
And so I'm drawing sigildry is
Yeah.
my skill for that. And I didn't draw an ace in there, but I also got a 9. So I'm going to take the 9, but I know that something bad happens because
You didn't, or you did draw an ace in there?
yeah. So I drew an ace, a 3, and
As
a
part of-
9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ace, 3, and a 9. Okay, so mark your omen counter, your omen tracker, and so 9 means you deal full stress, but the target will deal 1 stress to you by playing that.
Uh-huh.
Here is what the complication is going to be. It will be a narrative complication. More, you watch as parts of the ceiling collapse behind you. There is no movement possible from zone 2 into zone 1 for the rest of this round.
Cool.
And also, you are hearing another person's voice in your head who is saying, I want out. I want out now.
Do I recognize this person's voice?
Oh yeah, it's the person. Yeah, you know whose memories and feelings you had? Yeah, she's awake now.
I imagine she does want out then.
Yes, she wants out. That's the
Look.
complication. She is awake and if this continues to be a thing, she may very well start to affect your abilities and your draws.
Okay.
It isn't active yet, but the omen, but essentially the ace effect I'm including now is she is awake and present and conscious in a way that is very angry and seeking retribution. But if you've spent the potential to get rid of the
I will at
doom
then.
effect.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a move. That's your attack. You're going to
Yep.
take 1 stress in return, but that's sigil 3, correct? Or you're using hex. What is a hex ability doing?
Let me. I believe it puts some. See, I had this up here.
I'll grab it just in case.
So it's one of the status effects. So I took affliction for my
You took
ability.
affliction. Oh,
Yeah.
you're putting. Oh, I'm sorry. I just went through so many things. I'm like, oh, hex. I just remembered hex is actually pretty rough one. Target discards and redraws the highest non-king card for each of its skill checks for the duration of the status. I'll
Mhm,
say with sigil 3, that's a 3. That's a hex 3 on his part.
mhm.
So he's gonna have to draw that. Now, here's the thing. More, I would like you to draw me another 3 cards.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Here's the reason.
Start
Now,
off good.
now,
King, 6 king.
King 6 King. Okay.
Mhm.
You watch as one of his abilities is called Dragon Roar, which he has because his body is so naturally infused with magic. He can attempt to cancel out other magic if he sacrifices an action on his next turn. Yes, before anyone asks, he has Counterspell. You're welcome.
Oh
so
no.
that's the thing.
no.
But it's good that you hit him with Hex because his highest card would have been a 10, but you drew higher. It's a contested skill check for him to do that.
Mhm.
So he has given up an action, yelling and screaming that about the Hex on him, but you all watch as like there's an affliction coursing through his body now. So that's, yeah. So that's, I believe,
That's
2 of your
no
actions. That's
good.
1 move and that's casting. If you wanted to try and hit him,
You know what? Why not?
okay. Do the thing. Up on deck is going to be Esper after the next combatant who will
After the
skip. So
next-
Esper, you're going to be on deck. So I have a sense where you're going
Okay.
to do more draw if you're going to try and attack, or do something else if you'd like to try and affect the environment. It's your call.
That's
Yes, Marcus.
Mm.
Dragon Roar is much cooler. That's why I renamed it. The ability in the book is like a cool generic one, and I'm like, cool. I'm calling it Dragon Roar. It's much better because Juvie.
I will just try to hit him this round. I was thinking of
Okay.
doing something else, but I'm just going to try to hit
Draw
him.
for
I
that.
got 10,
Mhm.
2, and 7. So I'm going to actually take the 7 and bank
Okay.
the 10.
Okay, so this is again, this is more stress that's being put on him. So with the affliction, because does afflict also do stress on top of hitting with the status effect? Just double check that for me real quick. This will matter because this may get rid of something else.
It does not.
Okay, so with dealing the damage, he does another stress in return to you. Like he just claws out to try and respond, but your claws pierce through, and his body has been encased in like very hardened dragon scales, but your claws break through it. You've gotten rid of his armor. So he no longer has the 3 armor he started the fight with.
All right, get him, Esper.
So yeah, so
he's ready.
it comes to-
He's ready.
so more is in zone 1 right now with
Okay.
Alaric. Actually, Esper, oh no, wait, Esper, you have reach on your weapons. You don't have to move to hit him.
Yeah. If I use my crystal greatsword. So
So
I get
here's-
pushed back. Do I still
Yeah, you
prone?
got pushed back. You're in zone 2. Yeah, you would have been prone.
Okay, even if my barrier blocked the damage.
Yeah, no, the prone
still
effect
take
is just it's just part of the status effect that's inflicted. The damage
Okay.
didn't go through to you because of your armor.
Mhm.
But at initiative Jack, The assassin in zone 5 in the back of the ship has now been made aware something is happening in the other parts of the ship. He is not taking an attack this turn or anything. He's not even moving. But just so you're aware, one combatant, an assassin that you all witnessed last session, is now active. Esper, you're up. You're zone 2. You cannot
Okay.
move into zone 1.
I cannot move into zone 1. Okay, so he immediately, his fingers uncurl from his greatsword and sort of like goes down, switches, and he snaps off. Like he has like a little snap that sometimes he keeps his staff on. And he like undoes that snap, spins the staff, whirling it around until he's got the very edge of it like a baseball bat, and then with a streak of light as all of the sigils on it ignite with like a false sunlight, because a true sunlight would shatter him, slams the shod end of the staff right across Alric's draconic snout as I attack him with wrath using reach.
Okay, draw for that. Tell me what you choose to go with for your
Okay.
result.
Okay. Oh, I
Here we
still
go,
need
here
to.
we
Yep.
go, here
Here
we
we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I drew a 10, a 10,
Mm-hmm.
a 7,
7.
and a 4.
10, 7, 4. Okay, which one are you going with?
I'm going to go with the 10.
Okay, 10
Um,
results in. You succeed in your attack and leave no openings for a counterattack. So whatever wrath is at, stress skill level wise, you're dealing
all
that
right.
much stress.
Excellent. Awesome. I'm spending 1 potential for smite to do a total of 5 stress. I would have healed 1 stress from leech because I inflicted damage. I'm going to spend, so I can spend a card, but then I have to draw again, right? Is that how that works? Or do I use the number on the card that's drawn to determine
What are you trying?
success?
First, let me ask you this. What are you trying to do? So you've
I
done
would
one
like to do,
attack.
I've done 1 attack for a total of 5 stress.
Okay,
Healed,
so 5 stress.
yes, healed 1 stress. And then I would like to attack with my sword again. So I spend an additional card. Is that how that works? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, you use from what you have drawn, because you always
Mhm.
draw 3 at the start of your turn.
Right,
Those are
use-
essentially what you're using to do. They're the results you're using for your different actions.
Excellent. I'm going to do a second attack using a 7, which I believe is a partial success.
Yep, that is a partial success, which is trading
Okay.
blows. So he rakes his claws back at you as you lash out with the staff and such.
Okay, I spend another potential for another smite, doing a total of 5 stress.
So that is 10 stress you've done
That
to
is
them.
10 stress that I've done to him. And then I'm going to heal 1 of the stress that was just done to me, because he just did something in response, right? I'm trying to remember. I hit him. Oh, no. I'm right. I wrote all of this down.
Yeah.
I
Your
spend 1
turns are always
potential-
very elaborate.
All right, it's all good. And then 4 is a failure, right? But it's a
Or is a failure.
I'll spend
Or
3
in-
potential to turn that into partial success with my student of
Yep.
possibility.
Yep.
all right.
So Mother Mercy, Esper, you hear only in your head what sounds like someone who strangely sounds very close to Mother Mercy's voice, but not quite, and saying, "That's not going to do, dears. You can do better than that." And like you hear a clap for you, and what is surely going to be a miss on your on your last strike does manage to make some way. So that is going to be a total of 2 stress with your 2 partial successes, but I need the grand total of your stress already.
Okay, all right. So a grand total of 2 stress that he's inflicting on me because of my partial successes. My grand
Yes.
total, let's see here. Pop. I'm going to spend another potential for smite,
Fucking paladins, just
heal another stress because of leech.
goddamn
Uh,
smite. I'll never have a boss
No.
I'd
monster
smite that.
ever against this fucking ability. Every paladin knows this feeling. It
Yeah.
will die if I have to put every spell slot into this damn thing.
Okay.
But
And
what
there's
is the total?
that is a total of 3 stress healed, 15 stress inflicted, and 3 potential spent.
Okay. His armor continues to regenerate each time a full stress block would take an ability. So he absorbs 9, but 6 stress goes through. And he's looking at you with the sense of like, really, you're trying to hit me with a stick. And right before he can finish it, like it just cracks him across the face. And you get the sense that like he is not going to be able to do that roar again anytime soon. The roar has been knocked out, and his command ability, which would have let him call to an ally and let them take an ability for free, both of those have been neutralized.
Let's go, Esper.
Esper put so much into that to make it work, but good God. Holy shit. Yeah. Marcus and I have the same 1,000-yard stare thinking about Smite. Smite haunts DMs every game. We're just like, I have this cool boss monster. It's got a lot of really interesting abilities. The paladin's like, that's cool. 5th level Smite.
Here's my
It's like,
custom off
okay,
button.
fine. I guess I guess I'll just die.
Yes.
I think Esper's gonna wrap up his turn. He's got like this staff like back in his hand, and the runes are still glowing, and he's just gonna look to Mother Mercy.
I'm not back.
Nod.
Yeah.
All right. It now comes to Mother Mercy's turn. Mother Mercy.
Whew. So I'm in zone 4. I'm in the crow's nest, right? After being pushed back.
Yeah, you've been pushed back a couple of times.
Yeah. I
So,
don't like how close I did.
Yeah, and you see that there are 2 combatants who are going to take their turns later. There's a duelist who's on the ground with you, who's like, it will come to his turn, he won't do anything, but is like seeing you getting pushed back and is like, the fuck? Is like pulling out a crystalline saber.
Ooh,
There's also, you see in the crow's nest, there's someone else who's like, the fuck? And then just like, there is a crystalline rifle that is like being loaded, pointing at you now.
yeah.
You won't, neither of them will do anything, again, to make that clear, but it's your turn. You
Mm.
have 2 people in your zone. What you doing?
I drew a queen, an 8, and an 8. Discarding one of those 8s to immediately move back to the stairs. I'm very terrified of where I'm at right now. For my can a target be under the effect of multiple status conditions?
Yes, that's what really sucks in the system. It can be really bad.
Great to know. I am going to discard my second 8 to spend, I believe it is 1 potential for affliction.
Mhm.
And I'm going to target Ulrich with affliction and corrupt using my soul forging skill.
Okay. Oof. So that was you're putting the 10 into doing that, or the 8 into doing that?
I've discarded the 8 to spend the potential to do that.
Oh, because you're burning a card from the bank because you're doing that instead of potential. So
Yeah.
Okay. Are you using the potential to add on stuff? Got it. So which status effects again? Just to double check.
Corrupt. So corrupt, the target cannot remove stress from healing for the duration of the effect.
Okay. How long what is
My soul
your soul
forging is
forging?
like
What
4.
is Oh geez, he has corrupt 4. He has corrupt 4, hex 3.
Ooh,
That's rough. That's rough.
that's rough.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I have to keep asking clarifying questions, but with the increase of my skill, that means I can attack from further zones away, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Your skill level is also the determinant for your range. From what I've talked to Eldritch Crow about this, that the whole reason for tying everything as the skill level is to reduce the amount of math you have to do. Once you know your skill level, like number, that tells you like everything. So
Just
you
good
could
game
theoretically attack from, like 3 zones away.
Incredible game design. Yeah, all of my stuff is mostly support stuff, isn't it?
Oh no, you've afflicted him with a status effect and you prevented someone from dealing with something terrible.
Yeah, I wish I could do more. So what I'll do then is I will. Oh, here's what I'll do. I'll discard my queen to defend, using my soul forging ability to get myself 4 wards.
That works. Okay.
Mm.
So that is your turn, Mother Mercy. It comes to the duelist's turn. The duelist is aware of your presence, but is not doing anything on this turn. The pirate is also going to same situation. Sonorum, it is your turn. You are one zone away. You're in zone 2. Alaric is in zone 1, and you are prone.
Okay.
So with being prone, you would need to use an action to stand up if you're going to try and move in any way,
alright.
shape, or form.
Okay, I drew a king, 2, and 9. I shall discard the 2 to stand up. And
They're so happy saying it too. That's the thing that bothers me. So here's the thing: you drew as part of your play a king.
yes.
The crystal reacts to your body. The crystal of the ship. You feel a sort of empathic connection to the crystal. It is connected to the earth of the Glitter Gorge itself, and it says we will help as best we can. And the debris from the ceiling, just you watch as shards of crystal start piercing up through the bottom of the ship and remove the debris. So you can move now closer to Alaric if you would like to.
Okay. I would like to ask something. So I have heavy armor 1 for my combat skill. It says that it makes you harder to damage. What does that translate to in terms of receiving stress from attacks?
Basically, it will reduce the amount of stress. It would come down to do a skill check, I would say, and then it will increase. It will give you armor for that. That is how I'm going to roll in this moment because I'm forgetting something off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's an armor action you can take that gives you defense on your turn. Mine works differently because I have an ability, Mage Armor, which auto activates outside my turn. It activates at the beginning of the combat.
I thought this was like you take heavy armor 1, you have like 1 shield or something.
No, you also I would also give you that, so you have reduction to that.
Oh.
So what is your heavy armor at skill level?
Yeah, heavy armor 1.
Yeah, so you have 1 stress like blocked. That's just armor because your body is naturally toughened to take damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe the skill check is to like increase it, like you're focusing on the armor, like you're skilled at it, so it kind of bumps it a little bit.
You could literally just like you are a phalanx.
Full defense.
Yeah, or a total defense.
Yeah, it's like total defense.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. But for now, I am going to look at Alaric, seeing the damage he's since I don't think I know much about Alaric beyond what happened last week, would I be able to sense the connection that Alaric had with Moore?
As in, like what he's done with the Soul Pierce?
More like
more just like
the relationship.
What's my vibe I'm getting on the guy? Yeah. What's the vibe is toxic. The vibe is rancid. That's my simplest way. Even you as an entity that we have narratively established, like is very aware of emotions just in general. You have a palpable feeling of like there is rage, but it's very indignant, like and confused. For your sense of him, it's like he doesn't understand what Moore is upset about. Okay. He does not get it.
All right. With that, I am going to spend 1 action and 2 potential in order to do invoke memory. The social skill I'll use for this is empathy, which is at level 4 right now.
Okay.
And I am going to target Alaric, and I'm going to the invoke memory is what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of dig into his head and try to push to the surface everyone is a child at some point. I want to bring out that child innocence to make him look at what he's like now and make him feel guilt. And he will take stress equal to my skill level, which is going to be 4.
Okay. Which card are you playing in order to do that?
I'm going to play my king for this.
Jesus.
Did you just fuck him over
Christ.
with feelings?
Yes. Have we not discovered? Have we not like established at this
Hell
point?
yeah.
Sonorum is just basically feelings incarnate, but is like Sonorum is the definition of what people fail to understand about like lawful goodish kind of characters. They're like, oh, you're just a nice boy. It's like, no, I want everyone to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Especially
And that is a threat.
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah, and that is a threat. Exactly. I just want everyone to be safe, and that's a threat.
So
So-
basically what? Yeah.
So the 4 damage goes through.
Yeah.
So that is
basically-
going to. I will. Yeah. Okay. The roar and command are both knocked out already, and I'm gonna say he has had a pair of wings that have begun to like sprout out of his back, like he is about to like fly away and like reposition to put himself in a better spot to attack you all. He is overcome with a sense of like he doesn't understand the feelings you are forcing him to have.
Uh,
His wings are not active anymore.
yeah.
He refuses to use the wings because you are just locking him. All of you are locking him down so much. It's like, you will not leave. You will get fucked up, especially. So,
All right.
you have,
so,
yeah. So
yeah,
you
it's-
got up. You got it from prone. You did that. So that's 2.
yeah, so I got one. Okay, just for flavor's sake, when I do that, basically the crystal glows. I sort of hold one hand up to him, and I basically go, "Castigate, repent." That is what I said to him.
Okay. What are you doing
And-
for your last action, or are you going to save it for next turn?
I'm going to. Okay, well, let me just double check some stuff over here.
Okay.
Are there any more enemies around that is like physically look like they're gonna beat us up?
The assassin, the pirate, and the pirate, like sniper and duelist are all a couple of zones back, and they all look like they're becoming aggressive. Like you have the sense because you're a natural empathic abilities that there are at least 3 other hostiles, and deeper in the ship, a swarm of smaller, like goon equivalent level folks are coming up here. Like this is not a fight you can necessarily prolong for too long unless you
Okay.
would like to deal with potentially 24 small dudes.
All right. So question. So when I do attacks, I can declare them non-lethal.
Yes.
All right. In that case, I will for my final action. I'm gonna use that action and spend 5 potential to do barrage. Basically, I'm going to like tear off bits and pieces of my body a bit and start hurling it at the other 3 people. And so it will deal 5 stress divided. So I'm gonna divide it to like 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 1, not 2, 2, 3.
Jesus Christ. The nicest rock boy has become pure malevolence.
Yeah, I'm aiming for like gut, through the gut to incapacitate instead of through the head and kill them.
Yep. They all appear to have some basic level armor, but consider
Oh, I'm spending the 9 to do this.
right. 9 is trading blows, so
Yes.
that is going to be all 3 of them are going to deal a stress in response.
All right. So I'll take 2 because of heavy armor.
Yep. So they all respond. So that is that. The pirate is not taking a turn. Juvie, you're up.
Okay. Let's see.
You're in zone 3. You see the 2 pirates a zone away, and also the cloaked individual 2 zones away.
Yep. And I see in the other, like on the other side, what's going there with Alaric as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Alaric is still pissed. He's as he's getting more damage, you are seeing more and more aspects of a draconic form emerging.
Okay, so I'm probably also prone.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't not from what I recorded.
No.
No?
It was only the folks in zone 2. You got put. You started in zone 2, and you got pushed back from the initial turn to the ship.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been taking backup notes on Hella just in case, just to.
This is a good player. Take note, all other players.
I-
Do
I-
this.
y-
Help your
you know,
DMs out. for
I'm
Christ's
taking
sake.
I'm taking notes for the zones
Yeah.
so that I know
Yeah.
who is where.
Yeah. I'm also. This is just so behind the table. This is my literal like zone chart right now, people. I'm just
Ah.
crossing stuff out as we go. So, Juvie, what are you doing?
Okay.
You drew your 3 cards. What you doing?
I mean, I'm ignoring the people behind me. I was like, I have a feeling what is going on down there in the engine room. I mean, I see it. So I'm going to blast Alaric off. He is already taking a bunch of damage, so let's toast him a little bit. So I'm making an attack with pyromancy. And I have fuck me. This is not good.
Oh,
This is not good.
What did you draw for your 3?
Oh.
Ace, and 8.
oh, it's arrived.
Okay.
Yep, I would like the 8 for this.
For your ability, but there's going to be add
Yeah,
2 to
this
your
is
omen
like
tracker.
Oh.
Okay, so there's that. So here's the thing. I'll give it to you this way. Power of the player.
Yes.
Before you do your attack in your turn, do you want something to happen to your ship, or do you want something to happen to your allies? There is no negotiation. You have to pick.
Oh, okay. I'm taking
Destroy.
Okay. I will draw a card if it's below 8. I'm taking for the ship. If it's over 8, it's for the people.
Okay, draw
It's
it.
below. It's a free.
So the ship. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Destroy.
Yeah.
Yep, let's go with that one. You all are gonna see a round effect kick in early. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Juvie, in your attempt to maneuver around, you watch as the growth in the ship, the crystalline armor that the ship is encased in, is now beginning to pierce through the center of the ship, and it now creates a crystal growth in zone 3, where you are at, and you and Mother Mercy are at, and you watch as Esper and Sonorum are drawn into it. So you are both Esper and Sonorum are forcibly moved over to zone 3. And the growths, you watch as try not to be too brutal with this, but it's kind of hard to not be brutal with the fact that you watch as right through both of their shoulders, crystal growth just pierces right through both of their shoulders. I'm gonna let you choose. The two of you choose. Would you like Corrupt 3 or Sap 3?
What do they do?
So
What do they do?
I'm pulling it up. Don't worry.
I
Don't
can
worry.
read them out if you need.
So corrupt 3 is you cannot remove stress for the duration of the effect. Sap 3, you take a -1 card penalty to actions for the duration.
I'll take corrupt.
Okay, you can't heal until you get rid of it. Esper, are you doing Sap or Corrupt?
I'll take Sap. It's 3? Sap 3? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take.
Like I said, they're cursed crystals. Did you think this would be easy? I am not going easy on any of you right now.
The rocks have betrayed me.
No, I'm gonna
They
take.
betrayed me.
I'm gonna take Corrupt 3.
Okay, Corrupt 3. All right, Juvie, now you may take your turn.
Yeah, the 8 for the attack.
Okay, the 8. So that's 5 stress from the pyromancy on Alaric, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, my pyromancy can inflict fear. since I have put the status trigger on it.
Normally, it would. Alaric is immune to fear. Like, you
He
just
is.
watch as the eye, his humanoid eye turns to the reptilian eye that you saw Gertrude have before, and just sort of stares at you, trying to inflict fear on him. And he's just like, really? Have you already forgotten what your body is capable of? Or have you already gotten used to being weak? Also, the fire, it does nothing. Pyroman, he is immune to fire damage.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
You were a fire dragon.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Also,
you know.
you couldn't know. You don't know how strong the soul bind, how strongly he had taken it. So
Yeah,
now you all
exactly.
know fire is not doing a damn thing to him.
Cool.
Mm.
Cool. Yeah, good that we talked about this. He's 2 zones away.
You still have 2 actions if you want to do something for either movement, or you want to do something for protecting yourself. There is also that possibility. Don't forget about those aspects.
Yeah. I can use this later. Okay, yeah, fuck that shit. I mean, I still have something up my sleeves. So
Called sexiness. Don't you start. Don't you start with me today.
I'm moving 1 zone forward.
Okay, so you're in zone 2. So Juvi's in zone 2.
And then I'm using my soul forging.
Okay.
So I'm going to attack him.
Okay. That you only have the 2s left, so that would be a failure if you tried to use them. Remember?
I'll spend 3 potential to turn that failure into a success.
There you go. Never mind then. So it is going to hit. So you do watch as he's still, again, he's looking at you, like mocking you, like you would try and use fire against essentially your old body. Tell me what happens as he's trying to look with a smirk at you.
Jewel looks definitely super pissed at this moment. Like for this remark that he gets from this asshole. Like you see him how he is casting up this dragon slaying sword in his hand, grabs his with both hands. I mean, it's a 2-hander, so and stares at Alaric while he seemingly is in a transformation, and like, this doesn't belong to you, and if I'm going to die, I'm taking you with me.
Blade goes in, and you see like there are cracks forming along the scales of his body, because it's what is your soul forging at? What's the skill level?
It's level 2. It's only level 2.
It's still it damage is damage. So that gets through some of that. He's not quite lost another ability yet, but yeah, it's the damage is starting to add up on him. So that is your action. So now it comes to the top of the round. I need 2 people to draw me a card.
I'll do one.
What is that, Hector?
That is a 2.
That's a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
A 3.
Okay.
2.
So 2 and a 3. Okay. So Hector's draw
Okay.
is Alaric is going to sacrifice portions of his soul
Ooh.
each turn. Your draws are going to determine how successful he is. And as he does this, he gives himself more actions. A 2 means he gets 2 more actions because you drew the lowest success. If you get a full success category, he gets no additional actions. If you get mixed success, he gets 1. But you drew the lowest, so that's 2. Mother Mercy, you drew low end as well. So we're gonna get the other arena effect. You all are kind of dealing with Alaric being your main focus, but you turn around, you see that the assassin, the cloaked individual who's been at the back of the ship, like does one of these, like snaps his fingers, and all of you just kind of turn to look, and you watch as cannon fire begins launching at where some of you are at.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's going to hit an entire zone. And 3 of you are in zone 3. So Mercy, Esper, Sonorum, you are all going to be hit by the shrapnel of the blast. You take 2 stress initially, and you have bleed 2.
So
Wait,
with
Jew, Mercy, Esper, and Sonorum?
No,
No,
I'm not in
Mercy,
zone
Esper,
3.
and Sonorum. Mercy, Esper, and Sonorum. You're the only ones in
Okay.
zone 3.
Oh no, which zone did you move to?
I'm in zone 2.
Gotcha. I'm moving you right now. That's why there's more than one of us taking notes. Oh God. Cannonball, and we're all taking how much stress?
So Esper, Mercy, Sonorum, you take the initial damage from the cannon shot and explosion is 2 stress, and you
Okay.
get bleed 2, which I have tweaked it so that each turn that you have the bleed, it will do another tick of 2 stress for 2 turns. Basically,
God.
you have dot damage on you right now that I would suggest getting rid of very quickly, because that's going to build, but it is Alaric's turn. Alaric
before
is
Alaric.
going to turn to all of you with a look of absolute rage. And I need to draw. Now, he has Hex 3, which means his draws are going to be much worse. It's a good draw. Ah, damn it! I drew a king and I can't use it. I'm so sad. That hex is actually going to come in very handy because
Cute Jenna is the Elmo with the fire meme.
disappear that. So that is going to be helpful though, because he can only do so. He's going to spend one of the cards that he drew, and this will trade blows with everyone. So everyone who is going to get hit by this gets to do 1 stress in return to him.
Okay.
But Juvie, I feel like you have a sense of how bad this is going to be, because you watch as most of his body has become much more draconic but humanoid size. He takes a deep breath in and he unleashes a fire breath right in front of him. Fire breath hits all zones equal to skill level away in a straight line. So that is going to be Moore gets hit, Juvie gets hit, Mercy, Esper, and Sonorum get hit. All of you are going to take 1 stress because he only got partial success. Be very thankful that Moore's prevented a full success, because that would have been 3 stress on every single one of you.
But how do the magical wards work when you've defended yourself?
Wards go first.
Yeah.
In terms of damage taken.
And do they disappear, or does it just act as like a buffer until
they disappear?
Oh, they disappear? Ooh.
I've taken no stress so far. This just hit my wards.
Yeah, I
Okay.
will say I double checked in the book because I did remember an elemental thing about this. The fire seems particularly effective against wards. So you will take an additional stress if you have a ward.
Understood.
Would this be blocked by heavy armor, or do I take it?
Your heavy armor is getting in the way of it. It's preventing you from, so the heavy armor takes it.
Okay. No damage then.
Yeah,
I'm
your
a
heavy
rock
armor is
man.
helping right now.
Yeah. Fire doesn't
But
work
yeah.
against rock.
Yeah, this is a full-grown dragon's breath that he just breathed on all of you.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure out how much stress I've taken because I have so many like regeneration things and heal stress things that ooh. So my barrier is pretty much gone by this point because none of my neither leech nor regeneration heal barriers. They just heal
They heal your stress. They
your
they heal
stress.
stress, not armor rewards.
Thank you.
So he's gonna follow
appreciate
that
it.
up by just sort of like that did seem to take a lot out of him to do that,
Okay.
but
So this is
he-
an important question involving stress.
yes. Trying to be cool
So-
over here, Hector.
I don't know. I'm sorry. So
What is it? What is it?
I got 2 items, right, that were tinkered, and I wrote them down on my sheet. One of them was the cloak, and they only got 2 effects, right? 2 common effects was what
Mhm.
Mother Mercy was able to make. So
Mhm.
I have resistance fire and regeneration on Radiant Soliloquy. Is that okay? I just wanted to like.
Yes. What do you mean? Is it
Okay.
okay? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So how does fire
Yeah.
resistance work now that it's come up? Is
It
it
would always drop it down to by half,
by half? So I
but you are
took
always
one-
taking damage. It
Yeah.
would not nullify the damage. You will
No, it
always take
wouldn't,
one,
it
at
wouldn't.
least one. But
Okay,
if
so-
this were, for example, a stress of like 4 or 6,
Mhm.
then it would
I
drop
would
to 2
take-
and 3. Yeah, that's what it would do. So it would drop
Cool.
it first, then your armor rewards will nullify damage. That's the order of how
Okay.
I'm doing it, because to my knowledge, that's more in favor of the players. And I prefer to
Okay.
go err on the side of player benefit first. Because if I
Excellent.
do that, then I can throw scarier things at all of you. That's the
Okay.
perk for me.
That is the best. All right. Well, my barrier's done.
Yeah. Next, you also watch as pulls out from his side a very long, ornate rapier, and in a flash of movement, immediately just goes and stabs into Juvie for 3 stress as he uses flame thrust, and he's allowed to move and to do a melee attack. He has to do partial, so you get 1 stress in return on him. But yeah, he just straight up stabbed you.
Cool.
But here's the fun thing, though. But fun thing for y'all. He had taken 2 stress from other things that had been happening from the build-up.
Hmm?
Your counter eliminates flame thrust as an option for him. So, like, he just goes and stabs you directly and is just, like, looking over you where, like, you're seeing draconic, like, teeth. Like, just, like, staring, like, into you, and he's, like, trying to, like, push it into you. And then you have a 2-handed sword that just straight up like knocks it out of his hand and like cuts it almost cuts his arm off. But he does that, then with his other hand, he just turns around, points a custom pistol that he's made at Moore and fires it. Moore, you are going to take 3 stress and burn 2.
Rude.
You can all
What's
blame
this
Carl for telling me
burn
to
2?
throw a very difficult.
Oh, I have to
combat at
burn
you.
two cards?
No. You burn 2. The way burn 2 is going to work, because I don't think it has it. Burn 2 is you take a stress of fire damage equal to the remaining duration of the burning
Oh,
status effect.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's basically, think of it like poison for however long the effect is.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and he has 1 more action because of how things rolled out. Yeah, the thrust is gone because the sword is out of his hand, so he's only got, full disclosure, he actually only has the dragon breath and his pistol left as far as abilities he can use. So, oh, but wait. Oh, shit. I just realized to do both his attacks because of the sap effect, he has no more cards to spend for actions because of the sap effect. So he can't do anything else. His
who
extra
puts-
action, he doesn't get anything.
Who put sap on him?
That was more, I think. More no, Hex, pardon. Hex is ruining
Oh, hatch.
He would have
Got it,
had
got it, got it, got
another.
it.
He would have just taken a shot. He was looking at Mother Mercy next to fire the next round off on. So more like you watch as he tries to turn, like he just clicks the back of it to load like another shot into it, and then you just watch as like a pulse of like a curse just starts affecting his body, and he can't make the shot. More, it's your turn.
Cool. Wow. This is we always promised we'd ruin each other's lives. All right. Well, she just takes the claw and like starts drawing a sun on him. And she is going to inflict beacon upon him, which
Oh no.
will
no.
help my allies destroy him.
Oh.
Yeah, beacon, for those who don't know, beacon gives +1 card bonus to the target.
Yeah.
meaning anyone doing stuff against him
Gets an extra card.
gets an
Ooh.
extra card against them, which
Mhm.
also includes you more. So the rest of your 2 actions, I would let you have another card for the effect of beacon on him.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. Then I'm just gonna slash at him.
Okay.
Just
So what's the result from your card pull that you're going to use for that attack? Because you
I'm
drew
going
3, you're using one of them to do a success on this, correct?
Yep. So I got I'll use a 7.
Okay. So he literally, as part of his counterattack. Yeah,
Mhm.
Marcus, if this was an MMO, the bar would just be full of debuff icons. It's basic. I appreciate you being in our chat, Marcus. And status ailments bar is just starting to break the entire time.
My goal is to debuff him and buff my allies because Esper will just wreck him. And
Mhm.
Yeah. So he literally, for part of the counterattack, to deal 1 stress to you more because you chose a 7 on that,
Mhm.
his mouth, he opens it and he just bites down onto your shoulder.
Ow.
So that was 1 action. You have 2 actions. So you're going to attack him. What's the card you're using for the result there?
So I'll use an 8 for the next one.
Okay.
And I assume he'll bite me back again.
Yeah, he's gonna do it again. He bites the other shoulder.
So
Like these are
rude.
like long dragon fangs just biting into your
So
skin.
rude.
And you're using what's the skill level on that? So how much stress?
Vigor. So both of those attacks would have been 3 stress.
They're both 3?
Mm-hmm. I have vigor level 3, and I have innate. Sorry, I have innate. I've made my character very convoluted. I have innate weapon, so that uses the skill vigor, and my vigor is 3.
Okay. Do the rest of your turn, and I'll tell y'all what happens.
I think that's it. I think it would have
Okay.
been.
Oh, yeah, because that would have been your 3 actions.
It was 3 stress, and I beaconed him. Oh, I do get 1 more. You said it because I have an extra card.
Because you did
okay.
2. Yeah,
Can
because you did, because your beacon effect would be from your from the ability in the first action, then the second action is an attack. So you have your 3rd action.
Can I get away from him? I don't want to be bit
Yes,
anymore.
that I would actually
Step away from
suggest
the
that.
I would like to get away from the biting teeth.
Yeah. So actually, I think this might be a good time for a break.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, folks. More that 6 stress you just dealt, that was enough to take out his last 2 abilities.
Ooh.
Ooh, he's gonna be so mad.
So you rake at him. He's cursed. He's corrupt. He's hexed. He's beaconed,
Uh-huh.
and he's just like your claws are digging into him, and you watch as you start hearing like bones beginning to break and shift
Uh-oh.
as no longer remains Alaric the Dragon Touched, as he fully transforms
Oh no.
Yes.
into Alaric the Dread Worm. Caro,
Oh,
did you
no.
happen to come up with a description of what you looked like before, what Juvie looked like in his old dragon form?
Let's do this after the break.
Yeah, let's do that after. But yeah,
For funsies.
now
Behold.
occupying the entirety of Zone 1 and 2
Oh, cool.
is Alaric the Dread Worm, an undead manifestation of Juvie's original ancient dragon form. And with that, we're going to go on break, everybody. So we'll see you in about 10 minutes as we come back to a dragon fight. I've been waiting for this. So see you soon, everybody. Hello there, everybody. Welcome back as we are going right back into it, everybody, as now we get into round 2, as this boss has a second phase. I've been looking forward to this all week. We left off as our group is in the midst of a conflict on a cursed pirate ship, just soaring through a massive gorge that is covered in a blizzard effect that's happening right now, as after Alaric, the bastard of a man, was just stabbed by his ex, Moore, in the party. And as a result of that dealt the last bit of damage for his abilities. But yeah, this is, as Ida has put it, this is where the Latin chorus begins. As his form forcibly contorts and shifts into... Caro, please describe what Juvie's previous form, what Juvie remembers it looking like.
So you see there a massive being of a dragon. You can definitely tell it's an older one. The scales are mostly in a dark reddish color, but some of them are also slow, like turning into a black color from the age. And what you can see from the head, the snout is partly covered with scars, like nearly going over all the face. There are 2 sets of horns, and you can see that the wings fully unfolded. They are slightly ripped apart on the ends, if they were used a lot or they had seen quite a lot of fights in their life. So, and looking over the body, there are on some parts some damaged scales, some of them missing, and yeah.
So, I was muted for a second. Yeah, you see all of that as a base coding for Alaric's form. However, Juvie, whether to his delight or horror, also sees that the form he has taken, which is Juvie's old form, also has a undead aspect to it. Like the veins that would be present across like the whole of their body, like are gone pure black. Like the blood has just kind of stilled. And there's whole aspects where that, especially the worn down parts of the wings, the sinew is like, it's kind of a rotting effect. Like this is an ancient worm that has become undead. This is, as I said, this is Alaric the Dread Worm. That was Moore's turn, so it is now the assassin's turn. But the assassin is going to take an action to disappear from the combat, and none of you see where they're at. They seem to have gone away from the combat entirely.
Uh-oh.
Let me just do a quick thing. However, their draw, in order to do that, they do have a mixed success. So I will say Mercy, you are able to detect that the assassin is hiding somewhere in zone 3, like is actually perched up on the ceiling. What remains of the ceiling in the hallway leading to the stairs has a knife drawn and is like ready to jump down on somebody like immediately. It looks as though it's dripping a noxious substance of some kind from the end of it. But I drew an ace as part of my pull. So I'm going to have an arena effect go off that will be able to affect everyone, including your combatants. So here's what I'm going to do. We have 6 zones. I'm going to draw a card. Depending on the tier of success, will tell you which 2 zones get hit by a sudden burst of a blizzard gale. So, drawing a card right now, it is an 8. Zones 4 and 3 are going to be hit by blizzard gale. So, the pirate and the duelist, those of you who are on the stairs, which is, it's getting very, very busy over on those near those stairs, you all watch as they are frozen. There's ice that builds up from the frost and the blizzard gale that prevents them from moving. And you see that until suddenly the ice coats Mother Mercy, Esper, and Sonorum.
Oh, no.
You will need to spend an action in order to move, to remove yourself from the ice, and until the start of the next round, all of your successes are dropped 1 category.
Oh God.
The cold is literally it is piercing down to like the bone, or whatever equivalent would be for our earth elemental friend. But that is the assassin's turn. Esper, it is your turn. So draw your 3. If you want to move, you got to spend a card just to be able to move. Alaric
Okay.
is technically
Okay.
I'm saying he's occupying zones 2 and 1 right now.
Okay.
And he's a
Alaric is in.
massive
Oh,
fuck all dragon.
oh, okay. So Alaric is in. Okay.
I don't quite remember the zone rules off the top of my head, so I think this is cooler to just say he literally has the benefits and the drawbacks of 2 zones because he's a big dragon. Juvie was not small when he was a dragon. He was very big.
Sadly, no
he
baby
was.
dragon.
Okay, so I have quick rules question. You said if you burn 2 potential, it removes a condition from your character?
It potential for each part of the status effect for each number
Okay.
in it. So for example,
Okay.
if you have burn 2, you spend 2 potential. You could spend just 1 potential and drop it down to burn 1.
Right. Okay. So oh my gosh. Sorry. You know what? Let me just draw my 3 cards. Make it easy. 1,
Don't panic
2.
yet.
Okay, so
That's for
king.
when you die.
I rolled a king, a 2, and a 9. I am going to. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to. Does it take an action to do that, or can I just spend it
To do what? To get
to
yourself
remove
out
a
of the
condition?
ice?
To remove a condition.
No. That's just potential. Or you can burn a card from your bank in order to get rid of it. Getting rid of conditions that's why bank cards are helpful, is that you can use those in place of potential. But otherwise, if you want to get rid of a status effect, you're burning through potential equivalent to whatever you wanted to get rid of it entirely. That's
Right.
part of the reason above table design philosophy, I'm inflicting so many things on you, because then it's either you can deal with it or you lose a resource. Either way, there's still a benefit for me on the combat
Okay.
design end. But yeah, that's
Okay.
why Moore immediately got Doom. Because I'm like, Moore, I could probably come up with some weird shit. I'm gonna remove her resources real quick,
Right.
best I
That's
can.
fair.
I am going to burn 3 potential. and get rid of corrupt.
Good.
I am, and I can't move unless because of the cold, right? Unless I spend a card. I'm gonna spend my 2. I'm gonna burn this card to move. And that helps me get up because I was technically still prone. I forgot
So
about being
you-
prone because there was so much.
So then
So-
you have to spend 1 card to break the ice, 1 card to get up, and 1 card
Yeah.
if you want to move into the zone.
Yeah.
So at least 2 to get rid of prone and the ice. The
Yeah,
ice will
so
not go
I'm
away
gonna-
until the next round,
Okay.
at least.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go and get rid. I'm gonna burn 1 card to get rid of prone. And then I still have bleed and cold. I'll spend
So the bleed will go off at the start of your turn.
right.
So
Can I just spend potential for 2 potential to get rid of bleed?
yeah, you
'Cause I
can.
don't think-
It's
okay.
still it happens at the top of your turn, so it's
At
going to
the
be the
top of my
first thing. So
turn.
it happens, but you can then spend the potential, just power through it. But
Yeah. How much stress does bleed do? It's 2, right?
it's 2. I'm marking it as 2, so you take 2 stress for that.
I
That's the other
take-
reason. Normally these things are only doing like 1 per. I've increased it because drama.
Yeah. So I'll take 2 stress. We'll take it from my 1 from my empathy and 1 from my observation. Because I don't want any status effects. Okay. And then okay, burn 2 potential, get rid of that. Sorry, I'm just like, wow, you just hit us with like a lot.
Yes, I know.
Let's
Folks
see here.
wanted an interesting fight. Here is
No.
interesting. Everything.
Okay, so all right, Esper, get rid of spend that 2 potential, get rid of that bleed. That takes me down to 16 potential. And then now I'm just cold. So I will spend my 9 to like break through the cold.
Okay.
And that will allow me to move into zone 2, right?
No, you don't. No, you have to spend it to even get back the ability to move. And you
Got
have
it.
prone, so you
Okay.
have to spend another card to even get up.
Okay.
You are
All right.
literally like cinematic wise, you are frozen, stuck to the ground on your back. Ice
All
has
right.
literally blown in
Okay.
from outside of the ship and frozen you to the ground.
Okay.
So you would have to spend at least 2 cards or a
Yeah.
banked card and one of the ones you have
Yeah.
right now
And then
to even get up.
Yeah, and dealing with Alric, I get 1 more card, right?
Yes, if you
Because
do
he's
a
a
thing towards
beacon?
him. Yeah.
Okay, so all I have left is this king. I've broken the cold. I've
Jesus
gotten up
Christ.
from prone. I've burned through potential to get rid of bleed and to get rid of corrupt.
Burn those resources, making me so happy.
13. That puts me down to 13 potential. Okay, and now and since I'm only Alric takes up 2 zones, right? So
Alric
I
takes
get
up 2
up,
zones.
break the glass, spin my staff, and I'm going to slam and attack him with my king. With my reach weapon. And just like bam and like hit him again. And I get to draw another card, right?
Yep, you draw another card to potentially
Okay.
use for this.
Okay, it's just a 3. But let me resolve my king first to make it
Okay.
easy for my amazing GM.
Your GM plotting your death right now.
Yeah, plotting my death. Please plot it, plot it, plot it, plot it, plot it. All right, so I have a king, which is a
That's a full success. There's no counterattack.
full
how
success.
Much
no
stress?
counter attack.
What
Okay.
is your skill level?
I'm going to inflict 4 stress. I'm
4
gonna
stress.
spend another potential to activate but give me down to 12 potential to activate smite for a total of 5 stress. And then because I got rid of corrupt, my leech activates, so I heal one of those 2 stress taken.
Okay.
And I inflict a total of 5 stress.
Okay. That is
The
Esper's turn.
big scary guy. And then with the 2, may I spend the 2, my last 2 for a move action?
Yes.
Okay,
Where are you
then
moving to?
I'm moving directly into Alric's zone.
Okay. That moves you into zone 2. You are right with Juvie and more.
Yeah. And that is my turn.
As your
I
turn.
will-
Mother
I
Mercy,
will-
you're up. You just saw a motherfucking dragon just appear. By the way, the door and the engine room is just like demolished. Him growing has just destroyed the door. Like there's a zone 1. It's open space at this point in terms of because of how big he is. So you are muted. Draw your 3.
So does the bleed effect affect Mother Mercy because she is a marionette and she doesn't have blood?
It is a status effect. It is attacking your soul.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
I got a 7, a jack, and a 10. Thank goodness. So I will mark the 2 stress. Take 1 from my empathy and 1 from my osteomancy. I will spend a potential immediately to get rid of the remainder of the bleed on me, so I don't have it again on the next turn. I will. Thank you of banking, maybe. I will discard the 7.
Okay.
So that I can move to get rid of the ice on me.
Okay. Yeah. So that's 1. So that gets rid of the ice.
And with the ice gotten rid of, does that mean the rest of my cards no longer go a rank lower?
Yes.
Perfect. How do I deal with this assassin above me?
Yeah. The assassin is currently also looking at your allies, and you're the only one who is aware of them.
I will. Okay. I'll discard 1 card, discard my 10 to spend potential 1 for affliction, and I'm going to afflict this assassin with fear. Target has a -1 card penalty to skill checks as long as they can see moi. And I'll use my presence skill for this as well. So that's a presence 3, and I think I just open up my marionette eyes, and I think the visage of like dried, gnarled wood is projected into its mind as I just look back at it. It's like, I'm not afraid of you, but you should be very afraid of me.
The assassin, who has been entirely cloaked, looks at you directly, holds up a hand with a knife, just cuts it, and is unaffected because they are immune to fear.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just like, I am the badass motherfucker. You cannot make me terrified.
Understood. Game recognized game. Then I will discard. No, I won't. I will attack with my jack using my soul forge ability.
What are you attacking? You attacking the assassin, or you attacking?
I will be attacking the assassin.
Okay. So with a jack, that is a full success. The assassin, your soul forge is at 4?
Yes.
Okay. That is enough to burn through the last bit of the armor that they have. The cloak suddenly breaks. There is an illusion that was being cast by the cloak, and you see It looks like a very strange dragon-like humanoid, but it looks undead.
Okay.
And I will say you have gotten rid of the invisibility. Narratively, this makes sense. The invisibility cloak, one of its abilities, is gone.
And that is my turn.
That is Mother Mercy's turn. The duelist, who is unfortunately frozen to the ground, has to use one of its only 2 actions. I'm so sad. I wanted to stab somebody. It's not fear. This is what I get. It is going to. It will use 1 action to get rid of the ice, and then you watch as the duelist pulls out a sword, stabs it into the ground, and as they stab it into the ground, you watch as they teleport and appear right next to Sonorum.
Oh boy. Come at me.
As they have an ability called Shadow Ward, which the watch is there is a undead magical ward that is now protecting them a little bit. They're in zone 3, but they used their action to do that, and they had to use one for the ice. So they can't attack you. That was their turn to do that. So Sonorum, it is now your turn. It is moved into punchy range if you would like to do something.
I am frozen and prone, right?
Yeah. So
Oof.
if you want to get up at all or move, you got to spend that. And so long as you have the ice, it's dropping your success category. So that's of your 3 you draw, you'd have to burn 1 to get rid of the ice at least, and another if you wanted to move.
Okay. All right. So I drew a 2, a 2, and a queen. I will spend a 2 to free myself from frozen, and spend the other 2 to stand up. And
so
then,
prone and the ice are gone, so you have 1 left. So you are
Yes.
in the same zone. No, you are a zone away from Alaric, and you have the duelist who just moved into your zone.
I'll just want to say, like, with my empathic nature, do I sense emotions from the undead Alaric? Like, does he still feel things?
He does, but you are getting your natural empathic ability. You get a rush of thoughts that are basically the following. You get crush, kill, must consume. You get she is mine. Why is she attacking me? Why is she ungrateful? And then you also get a couple of thoughts way at the back of his mind are like, she promised me power. And this is not in reference to more.
Okay. All right.
That's what I will give you, like, because of your particular ability set, because Sonorum just knows shit by feeling.
All right. Okay.
Sonorum is a rock Jedi, is what I've discovered.
All right. I'm sure the others can deal with Alaric for now. I'll focus on the guy right in front of me right now. I'm just gonna my head turns to them, and I'm gonna use my queen and 2 potential to invoke memory into that person to make them feel absolute regret at walking up to an 8-foot tall rock person and make them piss their pants, basically. And they take 4 stress.
Oh boy.
Not fear, regret. I
Yes.
feel
Regret.
bad. It's
Much
like
worse.
weaponized guilt. What?
Yeah. It's like, you should be ashamed of yourself.
It turns into just like a sitcom from the 80s, but it's just Sonorum going, undead duelist, did you break the cookie jar? That's not good.
Go to the corner.
Go to the corner and think about what you've done. You've removed the Shadow Ward ability from the duelist, and they already look very rough. Like they look as though they're struggling to try and pull out a pistol to retaliate.
Yeah.
But they have no means.
Yeah, it's like they're reaching for it. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Nope. Stop it. Nope. Stop it.
Yeah. All right. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. The pirate is going to use its one turn. Well, actually, it only has the 2 to draw, so it's going to do those. 1, 2. So it is going to burn the 7 it drew in order to get rid of the ice. And then it is going to take fire at whatever is most threatening his boss, which the last person who just booped his snoot was Esper. Esper, you take 1 fire stress, so it's just 1 stress, and you have
yeah, just
burn
one.
1 inflicted on you.
Okay.
There is an
And that-
ongoing theme. Most of these folks, because of the dragon touch thing, have fire on them.
I know, which is, that's why I took fire resistant. Or at
And
least
that-
why I thought it would be helpful to have fire
It
resistant.
would have been really good if the 3 fire breath thing had hit you. But Juvie, it is now your turn. That hit from earlier, by the way, Esper, you did see that it did remove. You did see the let me restart. You did see Alaric's massive claw beginning to reach out to try and move towards Moore's crystal again, as though he was going to try and do the soul pierce one more time. But your hit has effectively, not to be too graphic, you broke some of the digits in his claw, so soul pierce is gone. But it is Juvie's turn. Juvie, draw, and
So I have drawn a 6, a king, and a 4. And so, and for this special trick, I'm first things first, active ability rage. Yeah, I don't need to burn anything for that, but I have at the moment 4 charges. So if I make an attack, then I can get it down. So I'm using 5 potentials for spell blast on Alaric, and I can choose an element.
oh my god, oh boy!
So since this is basically my own old body, I know what kind of like what is it?
You know what
Weaknesses?
hurts you.
Yeah,
What your
exactly.
weakness
exactly. That's
is.
just weakness. That was the word that I was looking for. So
You don't handle ice well, at least from your memory. Ice is not something you do very well with.
so guess instead of toasting, we are freezing him for 5
So-
stress.
So here's the thing. He has also he has his particular variation of your abilities normally would make him resistant to ice. However, you drew a king. So what I'm going to give you as a mechanical benefit, Juvie, you are going to ignore any of his resistances.
Yes.
Pure rage is just fueling your magic and just being like, I am going to stab you, motherfucker, and I'm going to freeze your soul if I have to. It's
Nice.
oh boy, that hurt. That definitely hurt.
Okay,
So that's
5
one.
for
That's
that.
one thing Juvie has done.
So then what are we going to do? Then I'm using my abjuration to bind him to not move anywhere further.
What are you using for your card for the success?
I'm taking the no, since this is since spell blast is a active ability, I need to use potential. I didn't need it to discard a card, I think.
Oh, okay. So you're
Yep.
so that just happened.
Yep.
And then
Then
so you
then I
hit him
will
with
use
that-
the king for that.
Okay. So the king will be for that. So yeah,
So that
I'm gonna I'm gonna
is
say he
stuck in
has.
place.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he has. You know what? Okay, what's your abjuration level at?
2.
He has stun 2 on him, which is the equivalent of what you've described. Is that, and he is not immune to stun.
Yes.
So yeah, he has stun 2. He is not moving from that zone whatsoever.
Okay.
Well, the 2 zones. So
Cool.
yeah.
And then I will use the 6 to use the soul forging to make another attack against him.
Okay. So
which is which will be 2 stress.
okay. So that is
I'll
another 2
use
stress.
5 potential to turn that into a full success.
Okay. He immediately, you watch as you move in with a soulforged sword to stab him. Even with his messed up digits in the claws, you watch both massive claws reach out and they look like they're trying to go for the crystals in your hands, and he's trying to shatter them. But you hear, like, in your head, like, don't you worry about this, dear, I have this. And you also see in your head, like, Brenna, like in the audience, like a specific spot has been made in the stands, and Brenna is like making a pair of molten hands, and is clapping for you.
Cute.
And he just reaches out and he misses. So that's another like 2 stress stabbing into him.
That's it for my turn.
Yep. It is now the top of the round again. It is Alaric's turn.
Okay.
Alaric. Yeah. This is what you didn't want to have to deal with, is the dragon going again.
No.
So with those, his soul pierce and his dragon wings have been knocked out. The sword that Juvie just stabbed him with, you've rent asunder both of his wings. So he's not using his dragon wing beat ability anymore. So he's 2 of 6 abilities down. He is going to draw.
Here we
Let's see
go.
what he gets. Here we go. Yep, he's going to do that. Yeah, he's spending a 10 for that. He is going to spend his 10 in order to, you watch his mouth open, and you watch as orbs of fire are released from his mouth. And he sets 5 orbs of fire down across the terrain.
Dispel this.
It's a contested check.
Contested check.
Unless your ability says that. I think I might be remembering that. Is counterspell contested? It might
Choose
be
a magic
contested.
skill to determine the range of this ability. You can spend an action and 2 potential. I don't have any actions banked. We can
Bring it on.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say I don't have the action for it. So you watch as zone 2, zone 3,
Shit.
zone 4, zone 3, because there's so many of you. Actually, there's 2 of you in there. So he's gonna put two on zone 2, 2 on zone 3, and 1 on zone 4. These things, they look as though they're just pure balls of pyromantic energy as he uses his pyromantic burst ability. That is 1. He, however, only drew a 5 and a 4 for his other cards. So because of that, he attempts to just stare down into Moore's face specifically, and just like you feel for a moment this dread sense of fear attempt to pierce into your body, but it fails because he picked a fail condition for that one. And because he failed on that one, you have the chance to move or deal damage equal to a skill level. It's your call. Because yeah, he's right in the same zone as you.
I'm going to damage him. I probably should move, but I'm gonna just rake his claws and be like, I said no. And I assume you want like a skill check for that.
No. This just it's just equal to
Oh,
from what I'm
then
seeing, equal to their skill level. If the attacker's in range, you are in range. So
3 damage from the claws then.
yeah, the 3 damage you deal in retaliation. That actually not in what is probably something he has not had happen to him in a long time. He tries to like command you to do something. Like you just hear like this deep, like draconic voice just say, "Kneel before me." And you just slash at him. You slash at his throat. He
Mhm.
has no fear effect anymore. The fear ability is gone. Your counterattack removed it. So he has 3 abilities left. He is going to use yeah, he's going to do that for his last action. You watch as he releases a breath of fire, but this fire begins to coat his entire body.
Mm.
He has created flame armor for himself. Now, if folks would like to, you can try and deal 1 stress to him. That would be anyone who's in the same zone, which would be Juvie, Moore, and Esper. It's your call. There's a reason for this. I'm letting you choose whether or not you want to do that because he just put flame armor on himself.
Feels like a trap.
I'm gonna do it. I'm still gonna do it. Fuck that shit.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You deal
hesitate.
you deal 1 damage. You immediately watch as Juvie reaches out with the sword to like try and stab into him. The flame armor leaps onto Juvie. Juvie is now on fire. You have burn 2 afflicting you.
Okay, is this technically a melee attack?
No, it is just a
Fuck.
magic effect.
Okay. It's just a magic effect, you say.
Yeah, that's the end of his turn. It is now Moore's turn. Moore, you
All right.
you are starting your turn in zone 2.
Okay. More
Uh,
thinks and she decides that she is going to use her claws to etch another symbol, and she just starts to sing a haunting melody as she carves 3 Z's onto Alaric's nose and says, "You're not you when you're tired."
So
And she'd like to afflict him with sleep.
I make him immune to sleep. I made him immune to sleep.
Damn it.
So it's right
Okay.
about as you try and do that also that I'm so sorry, Moore.
Oh no.
You were the
Oh,
first
no.
one whose turn came. The orbs activate. They are traps that if you start your turn in the same zone as them or you
Oh,
move into
no.
the zone, they both go off.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
More, you take 6 stress total.
Oh,
Burn
Oh,
Oh,
that
what?
didn't feel great.
2. The pyromantic bursts each deal 3 stress and do burn 2.
All right.
It's how you holding up, More?
not great.
I gathered as much. That face you made didn't look good.
Ow. Alrighty then.
So you have two actions left as a reminder because
yeah.
you've done the one. So
Okay. I think I'm gonna heal myself to start.
might be good.
So
Might
I
be
will
good.
heal. And then what kind of nasty thing can I do to him now? This is the so I'm burning. So what I drew was I drew 5 queen king. So 5 and queen are gone. I'm gonna use king to try to do something else that's nasty to him. So I think I'll just hex him again. But we get a bonus. He's still beaconed, right?
He's still beacon. Yeah, so you have one more card technically. So yeah, you would
Okay.
have one more action actually.
So I'm gonna sigil him. I'm gonna re-hex him because hex should be up now. Because I think it's been 3 turns. So he's gonna go ahead
has.
and be hexed again. And then with the last card, I will I'm just gonna slash at him with the king. So it's not double effect, right? I just get to try to slash him again. It's just another, right?
Right. It is another full damage, but you drew a king, so it didn't say that.
Yeah, so 3 damage to him, and can I do it
You-
for
It's 3 damage. So the
Mhm.
3 damage, you deal that. His flame armor. So you were gonna take burn 2. You already have burn 2 because you just took a shitload of explosions to the face.
Mhm.
But you watch as the flame armor is removed from his body as well. He only seems to have one ability left.
And with the king, do I draw again? Is that what it is?
No. The king lets you. You could potentially do it. Give me
Okay.
1 second while I get. I know I have the specific one right here. You have 2 options for king because this is a combat.
Mhm.
King, you could choose to either get a perk, which I'll give you either something free as part of the skill check or ask me for more info, or you can try and cascade, which is play extra cards off the top of the deck until you get a non-face card.
Okay.
So if you want to do that,
I-
for each extra
yeah.
card you get, you deal an additional stress.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one.
Okay, so draw.
You got this.
I got a 9, so it's a non-face
One
card,
additional
but
stress.
he takes another 3 stress.
Yeah, he takes another 1 stress for every additional card that you draw.
Oh, okay. So 4 stress.
The idea is that like you try and keep like stacking and adding stuff on.
Got it.
But okay, that is your turn, Moore. He is looking rough right now.
Finish
It is
him.
the assassin's turn.
Ugh.
The assassin, I'm going to give them a free status effect of beacon because they drew an ace as part of their turn.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But the assassin is going to, Mother Mercy, you watch as the assassin just goes, and then in a movement you don't even see behind Sonorum, the knife plunges directly into Sonorum's body.
Oh no. Not our
The
sweet
knife-
rock cinnamon roll.
Also, Sonorum, the knife ignores your armor entirely.
Oh god.
It's magical and enchanted. It just pierces through. You take immediately 2 stress, and you have poison 2 on you.
Okay.
So yeah. So you will be taking a -1 card penalty to skill checks for the duration of the effect, and you can't heal.
Okay.
So That's one action. Its other actions it's going to do are it is going to turn around and it attempts to fire. It point blank tries to fire at you, Mother Mercy, but it has to use a 2 for that, so it fails.
Oh, okay.
So
Ooh.
you deal damage in response to it. However, describe how you deal damage in response for me, if you would be so kind.
Mother Mercy doesn't get angry very often in most circumstances, but it was the complete disregard for her to go after Sonorum that truly and deeply enrages her. So I think the tentacles, the threads, the spirit threads emanate from her body, and she just constricts this assassin in front of her and tells them, "Don't hurt my friends." And is it just the one stress in response to their failure, or is it a skill?
It is equal to your skill level.
Oh, then that's with my soul forging, which is a 4.
Yeah, so yeah, they immediately drop the knife afterwards. They look as though they're starting to panic a bit because they're like, normally this should have worked on someone, a point blank shot with the rifle. Like it's like the tethers just reached out and like caught the bullet and just split it apart in midair. The assassin is going to try and run. The assassin's like, I am not paid enough for this. I'm out. Out. I know when to get out of here. My boss just turned to a dragon again, and I'm done with this. Esper, it's your turn.
All
you see
right.
Alaric is hurt. You see Moore especially is real fucked up.
I am going to I have burn 1 on me, right?
Yep. So burn
Um,
immediately hits.
Burn immediately hits, and then it goes. Does it go away or does it stay on me?
It lasts however many turns I told you.
Oh, I think you just said 1 turn.
Oh yeah.
'Cause it's
So
burn 1,
burn
right?
1 hits and then it goes away.
Ah,
You have your 3 turns, Esper. Or
Oh,
well,
you-
yeah, your 3 actions. Pardon.
my 3 actions. Yes, I
I'm
appreciate
not giving
you.
you
I
3
just wanted
turns for that. No.
3 turns. Oh my
I
god!
want my fun
what?
too.
Ah! All right, so he's still got beacon on him, right?
He still got beacon, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is what's gonna happen. Let me draw my 3 cards. Here we go. All right. So we've got an 8, a 9, and a 2. So, okay. So for action 1, I'm gonna go ahead and spend. I have to spend a card for an action, right? I'm gonna go ahead and
Yep.
spend my 2 to use an ability. I'm going to use the heal ability, which will allow me. Or oh wait, hold on. Soothe is for status, and then heal is for stress.
Make sure you have your abilities right.
No,
I
I
think
got
we
it.
got this. We almost got this wrong the other time.
We almost
too.
got this wrong last time. Yeah, for real. Soothe. Spend 3 potential to remove a condition without making a skill check. DRG skill rating for range.
Moore also
Nope.
has a couple of conditions currently, draining her
Al-
life. It would be
Also,
helpful.
yeah, I'm going to use an action. So I'm gonna use this card, and I'm gonna spend 1 potential to remove stress from Moore. And go ahead, and I have medicine, so go ahead and heal 2 stress. Because that's my medicine skill level. And then I'm going to, an 8 is a partial success, right? And then a
Yep.
9 is a full success? Or are those both partial successes?
Both partial.
Both partial successes. All right. Here we go. I've got 1 more because he's a beacon. So that's a 5. So we're gonna start with the 9. Boom! I'm gonna hit him with attack him with wrath with 9.
Okay. He retaliates
I'm gonna
and
spend.
bites. He bites. He tries to bite your head off, and he only manages to like get the end of the mouth around your head, but he rips the mask off of your face.
Right, one for smite for a total of 5 stress. He hits. I do that. I heal 1 stress from leech. How much stress does he do to me in retaliation?
He deals a total of 2 between.
Of
If you're
2?
doing 2 attacks, he's doing with two mixed successes result in 2 stress in retaliation.
Okay, all right. Okay, so on the first attack, I will heal the stress from leech that he inflicts upon me. I'm gonna go ahead and spend the 8 and spend another potential for smite, doing another 2 or another 5. And then the retaliatory stress, I will heal with leech. And then after I have hit him the second time, I'm going to spend 2 potential. No, not gonna do that. A 5 is a partial success, right? Or is that a failure?
5 is on the cusp. Yeah, it's on mixed success. So if you want to
Okay.
spend that for one more attack,
I will spend that for 1 more attack. And repeat the same process. I'm down to 9 potential.
oh no, you only have 9. I do not feel
Okay.
bad for you whatsoever.
So like hit him, heal the retaliation, and then I'm going to yep, that'll be it. Actually no, this is a big bad thing. This is a big awesome thing. I'm gonna spend 2 more potential. And to activate life drain, and I'm immediately gonna heal 5 stress.
So here's what happens. It's just a flurry of strikes, and you hear through the blizzard gale a cry lets out across the entire gorge as seemingly the long neck of the dragon just rests against the ship.
I
That's
gain a
Esper's turn.
potential when a non-minion is incapacitated.
Mercy, it's your turn.
Oh, I knew this would happen. Okay. First things first, I'm dispelling that flame thing around Juville. Spending 1 potential. Sorry,
Okay.
spending 2 potential because it has to be if it's a target effect.
Yep.
Actually, let me draw as well. 2, 3. It's a jack, a queen, and a jack. Oh my goodness. The fate smile. So I'll discard one of the jacks to have done that. Actions. Using my empathic wave passive ability. What am I reading from the enemies in this room, like with regards to?
Oh, they're ready to run. You
Ready to
just
run.
knocked out their dragon boss. They're all ready to run. Like none of them want to fight
Oh.
anymore. They want to haul ass out of here as quickly as possible.
And Alaric looks actually like just incapacitated. We at the very
You would
least,
have to look closer.
that's so fair. Then you know what? I will discard one of these jacks to move closer to everyone else. I feel like I'm making a big mistake here, but I don't know what else to do right now. I don't really have a... Yeah, I'll use my empathy skill to get a read on Alaric. Less to see if they're like ready to fight still, but just to get like an actual sort of read on them.
What did you use for your success?
I'll use a queen for the empathy.
Using a queen. Okay. Mother Mercy, as you peer into this form, you see what Alaric once was. He was a very handsome man, but you see a wave of memories that are just all the little that you've seen with more, you see countless others. You see countless other women, countless other men and folks of varying genders. He has been this way. He has intentionally chosen to be this way for a long time. And you sense two additional things. Number one, in the center of his body, there is a Memoria shard that looks very much like it belongs to Sonorum's body. Like it would fit the last portion that's missing. And in addition to that, you hear a voice. It's very sad to find out that even my little dragon pet couldn't kill you. It would seem as though you small creatures of change have made this a whole mess. But the conflict is not over. The gardens will rot, and the summit is still yet to be reached. Join me in Elysium. Join me at the summit and witness what becomes of heroes. And you see, just for a moment, like, imagine on the level for your character, on the level of like a jump scare of like, have you ever been watching a thing and then suddenly there's like a blip of like a frightening image? Not like someone just jumps out, but like you're watching like a video, like recording of someone, and then you just see like a face. The banshee-like creature that was counseling Alaric that Moore saw ages ago. Like a being pulled from the land of dreams itself. Its whole frame somewhere between undead and skeletal and beautifully angelic, purest of white and crystal. I will be waiting for you. May you have mercy on your side when you face Ultima's judgment. And Alaric, be a dear and crash the ship, would you? And you watch as, and this is going to move entirely out of combat now. This is going to be the last bit for this. You watch as the body stirs, because you know that thing I gave the crystalline bear during your first session fight where it won't go down until everything else is gone? Alaric has an undead version of that. And he immediately reaches out and he grasps more in his jaws. As hurt as he is, something is keeping him tethered to this realm. And the moment that he lurches back to some half semblance of life, he literally just bats everyone the equivalent of like 3 zones away.
Oof.
All you hear is the distinct sound of just as something is starting to shatter as the mouth closes in on Moore's crystal. Juvie.
I wanna use a limit break to finally kick him over the edge.
You spend 5 potential on this.
Mhm.
Describe what happens. What does Juvie do? Being knocked back, seeing a undead facsimile of what you were at one point in time. What do you do?
So like seeing Alaric in this undead form of a body that formerly belonged to Jewel, and like basically the wolf fact what was done to the body, and now the the last bits of Alaric trying to getting the pearl off or whatever he's trying to moor, and it's just like, yeah, he is nearly dead, like completely nearly dead. So, and not going to let this happen. And there's a scream coming out of Jewel's mouth as he holds up his hand, gathering basically all of the magical energy that he has in his in his body. And you see how an image of his former body is forming up, but just pure out of this pure massive magical energy and crashing directly into Alaric.
You, if I may add one detail
Sure.
to this, you all hear a dragon roar, not one of meant to instill fear, but one of just pure unbridled rage, in this instance to protect a friend. You just overload the body, and more, you are nearly sent careening off of the edge of the ship, and you just see like someone catches you hanging off the side of the ship, and you look up and you just see someone saying, "No, you're not going just yet." And you see that Wilhelmina is just barely struggling to try and pull you up onto the ship. But Alaric's thrashing, the immense power that just got unleashed, in like an instant, the cold of the gorge and everything that was happening in the area immediately starts to regress. But at the same time, the ship has been ruined to all hell. There is no engine. The crew, you also see nearby, Wilhelmina has been making work on some of the small fry. She is fucked up. Like, she's got cuts. She looks like she's got bullet wounds or scrapes that have happened all across her body. And she just catches more. And you all, despite living through this, are very aware that this ship is about to plummet and crash into the gorge. And that is where we are going to end our session for today, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here for possibly one of my favorite fights I've ever run on any series, any campaign, because of just what everyone was doing for this. We're going to go around real quick. To say who you are, one thing we can find you in, and we'll move on from this because I want to respect people's time. I'm Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, her pronouns, and coming soon over at Girls Run These Worlds on Wednesdays, I'm going to be running Afterlife Nexus, an Afterlife Wandering Souls campaign with our very own producer is going to be involved. Aida is going to be one of the players. I'm so excited to finally run this system, and with a group that I'm so excited because spoiler, we have a mostly Latina table, which is like, oh my God. Yeah, Aida, you can enjoy that reality as well. But yeah, it's yeah, that's me. Let's pass it over to Hector, our unbelievably smiting paladin for 15 stress.
Yes, I am Hector Manuel Reyes. You can find me starting Mondays, Mermaid Mondays, over at Girls Run These Worlds. You will find me playing in Touch of the Ocean, an awesome stream over on Girls Run These Worlds on Mondays. So catch me there.
Fantastic. The incomparable, the wonderful, best party support player ever, Mother Mercy.
Hi, I've been Kestrel, and starting this Sunday, May 7th, you can find me over at TTRPG playing Apocalypse Keys with a whole bunch of really, really cool people that I enjoy playing with, though not as cool as this table, obviously. So if you have the time, go check that out. Thank you very much.
The most competent being that has ever existed to weaponize guilt, Nikki.
Hello, I'm Nikki. You can find me on social media on Twitch or Twitter as NickSnat1, the number 1, where you can occasionally see me stream games that I run for Nightshade Tavern and a Malaysian-based D&D server meant to make D&D as accessible for new players as possible. I should have some games coming up next week if the players vote for the correct time, so we shall see.
A delightful dose of debuffing chaos, our own Jenna.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenna, and you can find me on Tales from the Forgotten Trope. We play Masks on Sundays, and it is set in the 1950s, and it's a good time, you know, minus all the terrible stuff about the 50s, like, you know, racism and homophobia. We have a nice world, okay?
We made
But yeah.
alternate 50s. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Just the aesthetics.
Fantastic. The incomparable fiery boy that is our beacon of hotness and draconic rage and fury, Caro.
You can normally find me here on Horde of Tales every Tuesday, except next Tuesday because we're having a break from our normal D&D game. So next Thursday I will be back here. We're back to session 7 of the Aether game.
Thank you, everybody who's tuned in. Thank you for the folks who joined in for chat and we're adding delightful commentary. I did see the person comment the FF14 trauma thing. Yes, I feel you. I'm in Savage rating right now. It's rough. We're almost done. We're almost done. But thank you so much. And we are going to be rating Spectrum TTRPG, where a fantastic Anne over from Girls Run These Worlds is going to be playing. So see you over there, folks, and see you next week.